an environmental engineer who works for Pepsi. And that, too, I think from the outside, just saying that might sound weird, but this makes a lot of sense when it talks about sustainability, especially when it comes to all the things that you guys are doing there. So I'd love for you to talk about what your job is and what it means to work with such a globally recognized brand, and how that brand is not just some sort of soda. There's a lot of different things that go into it, and especially the work that you do. And so hopefully I'm teeing you up on how to explain what it is that you do.
Yeah, so yes, I work for PepsiCo, and the co is important because we don't just make soda. So
The co
PepsiCo is
is important.
composed of our beverage side of our business, but we also have our foods or our snack side of the business. So probably anywhere you go in the world, you'll find our beverage products, and you'll probably also find our snacks products, which include Frito-Lay, if you're a Flamin' Hot Chip fan like I am, Quaker here in North America,
Oh,
and then
wow.
if you go more broadly, like Mexico, Gamesa, and other brands. So
Uh-huh.
lots of, we also have a food side of our business, which makes it really cool. One of the things I tell people about working for a brand is just being able to go into probably any store on the planet almost, and finding one of our products on the shelf. And that's really cool. And just
Yeah.
being able to have that tangible ability to hold a product that your company works on, I think is really cool. So I think how that relates to being an environmental engineer and working in sustainability is the real ability to make an impact at a large global scale. So I'm part of the Global Sustainability Office, focused specifically on packaging. And within that, specifically focused on the beverage side of our business. So our sodas and our soft drinks. So then what does that mean in terms of the variety of our products? All are consumer packaged goods. So they come in a specific package, and then that package is made out of a specific material.
Yeah.
Most often, in our case, could be plastic, aluminum for our soda products. And then we are moving into other types of packaging. And so some of our goals for our sustainability goals are to reduce our use of virgin plastic to help lower our GHG emissions, as well as incorporating recycled material into our packaging. So moving from what we call the linear economy, which is a take, make, waste model. You use a product, you throw it in the trash, that is never to be seen again. And moving to a circular economy, which
Mm.
means reusing resources, using recycling resources, incorporating those resources into a new product. And that's a lot of what we're doing, right? So designing our packaging as much as possible to be recyclable so that we can take that packaging back, make a new product. And now you have a plastic bottle that's made out of recycled plastic instead of virgin plastic. So lowering our greenhouse gas emissions, but also like continuing the life of that resource. So that's a lot of the work that I do. And then also looking at, well, can we move out of plastic packaging where possible and look at aluminum? We're in some coalitions where they're talking about maybe making a paper bottle. So will we
Really?
ever see that? And that would be really cool. And then on the food side, our business looking at compostable packaging. So packaging that you can put in your compost in your backyard that'll eventually go away and can go back into the soil. So just starting to look at innovation and just thinking about, again, like a global brand with a global footprint the size of PepsiCo, one of the largest food and beverage brands, is like, if you can make a change, even if it seems very, very small, like one of the things that we
Yeah.
do is lightweighting our bottles. So taking the plastic bottles that we have and taking and removing grams, could be 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 grams, etc., of plastic. And it might sound like a little bit, but when
Right.
you put it into the context of the volume and
Yeah.
the footprint that we have, there's a lot of impact that can be made there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I really, really appreciate about working here is just thinking about the scale of possibility of the impact that we can have.
So these I like that you talked about these ideas of incremental changes that can sum up in aggregate to make some larger elements. What do you think over the last few years have been some really large? You mentioned the ideas of lightweighting bottles, and I know that there's a lot of work at aluminum. Aluminum is this one thing that can always constantly be reused, right? It's like the one material that everybody wants to move for. Is that where you and these types of industries are moving towards, or are there other, or are we trying to do lots of different things? Like you mentioned the paper bottle or anything else. Like, is there one magic secret to this, or is it just we're just trying what we can?
I think if there was one magic secret,
We would have
then we
done
probably would have all signed up for it. But
Yeah.
I definitely think that like mix shift, yeah, moving to aluminum, we've launched like some of our water products in aluminum bottles and, kind of starting to push the envelope of imagine drinking Gatorade out of aluminum can. Like if
Yeah.
that could be the future of packaging. We've also launched like reusable initiatives. So if you go to other places in the world, like if you go to Latin America, you can pick up a returnable bottle, glass bottle, use it, bring it back, and then that gets refilled and sold again. So I think there's already systems in place that we have that are kind of leaning towards the future of sustainable packaging. But I think where there's the most area for growth is a lot in our like snacks and foods packaging and really
Oh,
looking at like compostable packaging and really reinventing the way that we look at packaging in general. And like, who knows? Maybe one day you're just gonna pop a pod of some algae-based packaging in your mouth, and then there's no packaging because you can just literally consume it. And that is
interesting.
something that is being worked on. So like that could be the future. And I think we moved into like powders and tablets. So again, like just products that maybe before you would buy a 6 pack of something, now you can just have tablets that you carry around in your backpack. And whenever you need a dose of hydration, you just pop it in your own water bottle that you own.
Right.
And then you don't have to consume another form of packaging.